As a footnote to the video you're about to see, I'd like to pay homage to a man who is one of the major driving forces behind the success of the Vietnam Swans Football Club. Yes, I'm talking about a natural-born leader, and as expats enter and lead the club, his legacy has left devoted Swannies scattered far and wide across the globe. Listen, Dukesy, you're actually leaving this year, aren't you?
Yeah, mate, I'm off. It's been four great years here.
So, 4 great years. So, listen, mate, what is it that makes the Swannie awesomeness, in your opinion?
Filters from Phil Johns. All comes from the most awesome man in not just Asian footy, world footy, I would say, Phil Johns.
I also appreciate Fabbo. As soon as I seen that email when first arriving in Saigon, he would have replied within a good 5 minutes welcoming down the club. So I appreciate that first welcoming message. Fabbo, I've enjoyed every minute of the ride. And
He's a great guy, mate. He's a great guy. Good-hearted man.
This club's sort of been compared to a bit of a religious cult. So
Yes.
What do you think it's going to be like breaking those shackles and going out into the normal world?
Well, they're talking about having a Skype link up to every game, so I'm not afraid of leaving the Swannies. And we got a spread now. I see myself as a missionary. I'm going to start off the Scottish Swans, maybe. Yeah.
Oh, mate, Phil, the club's awesome, and thanks for being the president, and thanks for doing such a good job of everything you do is really great, and that's why everyone loves it so much.
So one day we're going to etch his face into a rock overlooking Vung Tau when we can raise enough cash.
Each of those characters have been extraordinary in their own way, and collectively they've added so much to the club on and off the field over the last several years. And so the fact that they are such a loss to the club is a sign that what we've been doing is right. And you've got to remember too, that when you've got players of this calibre, when we send them off, they also suck in the new players. And the new players look at what they have been able to achieve, and these new guys look at them and say, well, I reckon that I'd be able to achieve a lot. I can leave my mark on this club as well.
We're talking about Mr. Phil Johns, more affectionately known as Fabbo. And for a brief time, I'm sort of wondering why they call you the single mother sniper, the SMS.
Yeah, that's a good question, and you might need to speak to Dave O'Shea and find out why he decided I needed to be called the SMS, because
You're not prepared to divulge any secrets?
mate, I am just hanging out the back of the packs receiving these names.
I first saw Phil's passion, drive and commitment for the club on the notorious Cambodian Cannonball Run. He began that trip by giving a brief history of the club.
In Saigon, there were the Saigon Saints, and they were around in about 1998 to 2000, 2001. Up in Hanoi, there were the Hanoi Hawks. They played a couple of games in 1998, and then they retired, and footy started to stall. In 2001, there were a bunch of guys that came together in Hanoi, and up at Pepperoni's, which Mickey Francis used to run, they started to put together Friday night football, and they would have the panel, and they would talk about the big game that was coming up. There's a guy called Rintrau Abbas, who was a mad keen South Melbourne supporter, and he was instrumental in the new club, which was only hanging around the telly. He was instrumental in having it called the Hanoi Swans, because he loved the Bloods. 2003, the guys up there decided it was time to play a tournament, and so they had what they called the Invitational Cup, the Hanoi Invitational Cup. That was the Hanoi Swans, the Hong Kong Dragons and the Thailand Tigers. They all descended upon Hanoi and had a cracking time, and it was game on.
As did Martin Luther King, Mr. Phil had a dream. His vision for the club was about bringing people together. That dream became the catalyst for the ANZAC Friendship Match Weekend, first held back in 2010 at the Lord Mayor's Oval in Vung Tau between the Hanoi Hawks and the Saigon Swans.
Today is much about Vietnam 2010, a wonderful country that invites us and allows us to stay here having an incredible time. Today, we wear 2 armbands, we remember 2 lots of people, and there is one relationship, and we hope that our match here today helps develop that relationship between 2 strong friends, Australia and Vietnam. ANZAC is not merely about loss, it's about courage and endurance and duty and and love of country, mateship and good humour, and the survival of a sense of self-worth and decency in the face of dreadful odds. Today, this afternoon, we will see some of those qualities in some measure displayed out there on the football field. But very importantly, today we celebrate the present and we look forward to the future. And we look forward to a great game of Aussie rules on the Lord Mayor's Oval, the Vung Tau dog track. Go the Reds, go the Swannies! We remember that this was the Lord Mayor's Oval, and it used to be the home ground of the Vietnam Football League that ran from 1966 to 1971. We've got a number of veterans who are back here today, which is magnificent to see. We've also got a number of veterans who actually played football on this oval. 3 of them are standing next to today's umpire. Rod Vernon, Nick Johnson,
The ANZAC Friendship Match gives us an extraordinary and a unique opportunity to do something which is a whole lot more than just a game of football. It's about inviting, encouraging veterans to come back to the country where they were 40 years ago, and for some of them that's a pretty traumatic experience. And through a game of football, we hope that it can make it a lot easier for them.
Well, I reckon it's great what the Swans do to include both sides, not just the Australian side of it or the Vietnamese side of it. They try to unite both peoples, and the Vietnamese people turn up for the game and they mix in and they pay respect to each other, you know, and we get on well together, and it's bringing us both together where we were enemies at one stage, now we are friends. You know?
I think Phil is the reason why I play here.
So do you like AFL? You like the game?
Yes,
That's very good. And what about the Swannies? Do you like the Swannies Football Club?
Yeah, that is the reason why I am here.
Go Swannies!
Go Swans!
Yay! All right, well done.
Go Swannies!
Yeah!
Go the Swannies!
Go the Swannies!
Go the Swannies!
The whole ANZAC match is about friendship, it's about loyalty, it's about helping your fellow people, it's all there about mateship, and everything's evident on the weekend.
We see the number of Vietnamese at the game. I think that increased from last year to this year, and to me it's just going to get bigger and bigger, because the Vietnamese are going to talk about it, they like seeing the football.
The friendship match is a highly contested affair amongst the Swans players who realise the significance of the occasion.
It means heaps. It's I played in 3 ANZAC games so far with the Swannies, and one before the Swannies had one when we toured at Kanchanaburi in Thailand. In that game, played in front of 4 ex-prisoners of war from the Death Burma Railway, and then to be able to do that again now in Vietnam with the vets means the world.
And it was really good to get picked. I didn't get picked last year, and felt it, you know. And to get picked this year was really important, and playing in front of the vets. And I remember seeing the vets at Long Team last year, and you know, and it's an important weekend, an important time for them down there. So really important for me.
Feels a great deal of respect, you know, especially playing on the same ground that some of the diggers did in the Vietnam War, and yeah, actually reflecting on what actually happened here and all those sorts of things. So when I first came to Vietnam, I didn't know anything about the Vietnam War. It's not really taught in school when I was at school. So it's great to be a part of, and then you know actually wear the armbands and to pay your respects, and it's really great.
Knowing that there's going to be also Vietnam veterans that have played on this ground many years ago, would you tap into that at all today?
Oh, look, absolutely. I mean, look, there's so many emotions that go through all the players here. I mean, of course, there's the issues regarding the people who fought here many years ago, and then there's looking after your mates and mateship, and as well as just the part of the energy that comes from just being a Swannie.
I'm looking for that pride today. I'm looking for every single one of you to have some pride in the game and what we're playing for. And what we got to do is you got to look at each other now and before the start of the game and say, yep, I'm not going to let you down, man. I'm going to try my hardest. Just keep thinking how special this game is. I could tell you 20 things to do, but I'm not. I'm telling you one. Heart. Heart is it. And the club.
Come on, boys. Promise.
And for yourselves.
In Vietnam, more children die from drowning than road accidents, and that's the number one cause, community cause, that the Vietnam Swans have chosen to support. And we mainly do that through Swim Vietnam, which was also a beneficiary at the ANZAC Friendship Match.
Phil and I had been sort of chatting about what we could do as a community group rather than being a bunch of blokes just running around playing footy and drinking beer and having fun together. And we sort of thought, we're from Australia, swimming's the biggest, drowning's the biggest killer of kids in Vietnam, kids under the age of 15. And we hatched the idea coming back on the bus from Kanchanaburi when we played the ANZAC game against Thailand.
The tagline we have under our ANZAC Friendship Match is honouring lost lives, saving young lives. So we wear the 2 black armbands to recognise the losses in the past, and then that's the remembrance, and then we want to talk about, well, what can we do today? What's blue sky? Where's the good story coming out of this collection of people at our ANZAC Friendship Match? And the good story is that we're raising awareness and money, again, to save young lives through swimming initiatives and the local orphanage.
I'm sick of, I've got no one to vote for next election, so I think Phil Johns should be Prime Minister of this country. Phil Johns cares about the people.
Right.
He cares, doesn't he now? He does, yes. He loves the people. And he builds bridges between countries.
It's about remembrance, it's about a celebration of the present, and it's about looking forward to the future.
So, go you Swannies!
The Vietnam Swans realised some years back the benefits of having the club participate in a rigorous boot camp weekend in Vung Tau. It helps kickstart the Swannies sporting year and touches on the significance of being a part of the ANZAC Friendship Match weekend.
It works particularly well for a few reasons. One is we're just wanting to get everyone together again after the Mickey Mouse period, and by going down to Vung Tau, which is where our ANZAC match is, it's also a way of showing commitment to the Vung Tau people, that we care about this town as well. So that really kicks off the period for the build-up to the ANZAC match and weekend, and then it just builds up from there.
Let's check out some of the activities dished out by Boot Camp Weekend in 2015, which was held in various locations around Vung Tau. And let me tell you, there was plenty of drive, passion and commitment. Yes, Mr. Phil, the legacy lives on. Are you hearing me? We are the Swannies of 2015!
We are the Swannies of 2015!
Asia's finest, lean and keen!
Asia's finest, lean and keen!
So Andy, can you tell us why you decided to include Long Tan in the schedule?
It's very important to the club to play down here in Vung Tau and visit the cross every year. And we want to keep the history going. We have a lot of people coming in and out of Vietnam and a lot of people playing for the Swans, and we always want to remember why we come down here. The weekend is a lot more than just a footy game, and I'm bringing the guys down here this weekend to educate everyone and know how important it is to the whole club. Paul's a local tour guide around this area. He knows a lot about the Long Tan Cross and what happened here.
We have to first of all get our mind around the fact that it was 1966, and in 1966 Nui Dat base had just opened. Nui Dat base is in that direction. It's only about 3.5 k away. At 3:40 p.m. there was the first accidental contact with the enemy. But all of a sudden the Aussies realised they weren't up against guerrillas. They realised they were up against well-trained PLA army. They were up against D445 battalion, who still control this area. Eventually, D Company was surrounded and the battle started in earnest. Within 20 minutes, the commander was killed and a third of the battalion killed or wounded. The support that day included American, Australian and New Zealand artillery, and it was amazingly accurate. They got the artillery to fire over them way back there, and they started walking the artillery in at 50-metre increments. None of our soldiers were injured or killed that day with friendly fire. This was happening in a tropical downpour. 7 p.m. the APCs arrived from Nui Dat and drove off the enemy. The second that the APCs arrived, the enemy dispersed. The next morning, D Company returned for final clearance of the scene. But it was good that they came back because they found 2 of their D Company soldiers still alive. There were 3 wounded enemy. On that day, 17 were killed and 24 were wounded. The odds were 10 to 1. Right, guys?
Thanks very much, Paul.
Yeah, so I know you're going to go on a bit of a 5k jog here just to get everyone into the feel of going around the rubber plantations this morning.
Yeah, so everyone's looking forward to that, I think.
Drill Sergeant Andy's got us on the run!
Drill Sergeant Andy's got us on the run!
We can't knock off until we're done!
Can't knock off until we're done!
Boot camp training starting at the cross!
Boot camp training starting at the cross!
Where many fought and lives were lost!
Many fought and lives were lost!
The Diggers' spirit will take inside!
Diggers' spirit will take inside!
On ANZAC Day I'll play with pride!
On ANZAC Day I'll play with pride!
Unfortunately, probably be out of action for maybe 6 weeks, hopefully no more than that. But
Was that your tactics to get out of doing any boot camp activities, mate? Or
all the lads have been saying that. I'm actually pretty keen to go for a run, so I'm a little bit upset that I won't be doing it with the guys and girls, but I'll look after the gear and keep time and just support them through the next couple of days. Sure, I'll be ready if I'm standing on one leg, leaning on a goalpost. I'll still play ANZAC Day.
There he is, first pass home in the 5k run at a winner's time of 27.51. Here he comes, second past the post. 29.01. Here comes fourth, and he's coming. It's not just youth who can run this race at a good time, he says. Go on, you Petty. Hey! At the time of 31.23. Go on, you Marty. Well done. The time of. Alrighty.
Yeah.
39.21. 40 minutes, 6 seconds. Well done. Well done, guys.
Well done, you have. Yay! Yeah, that was the first leg of the boot camp. How do you think that went today?
Yeah, it was good. Good run.
All right, so you think it was a good idea bringing them out there to just a long tan and being out there and get a bit of a brief history rundown on the place?
Yeah, absolutely. I really appreciate Paul coming down and giving us a bit of a brief and get a bit of understanding about the area, informative, get us a bit revved up for the ANZAC match coming up.
So we're actually on schedule today. I'm very surprised. So you must have been very good as an experienced tour captain getting them all motivated this morning.
Comment for the manager for getting shit done, mate. So that's why I guess I'm doing this job.
The real damage is the cast iron shell that weighs about 2.5 kilos inside.
Yay! You're all fed up now. You'll go home and fall asleep in the hotel. See you next leg. Yay! Listen, I believe also this afternoon we'll be making a trip to the local orphanage, which is part of the beneficiaries the Swans have at ANZAC time. So
yeah, part of the weekend to show the guys where we donate to and you know how important it is to us and the club.
Swans help others when they can.
Swans help others when they can.
Let's save some kids and lend a hand.
Let's save some kids and lend a hand.
I know I've met some of you in the past, and our centre is very appreciative of what the Vietnam Swans has done in the past, continuing to do for this centre and also Long High Centre. You haven't been to Long High Centre, but actually most of the money that we raise goes towards Long High Centre. I've been involved with Long High Centre since the building. So this centre started by one lady named Trang Lai. She's no longer working here. She's actually now the Director of the Department of Social Welfare. But she started this work in a small house with 3 friends. And with their own money, they just took in abandoned babies into a house, and then they shifted to about 3 different houses as they expanded in numbers until the government took notice of what she was doing, and then they were given this centre. At Long High Centre, we have 131 children in our school program. We have our own school there for children that couldn't otherwise go to school because they can't afford to. And we have skills training. We have sewing, motorbike repairs, and hairdressing. And those programs are very on my centre we feed every child every day, so we're providing 150 meals a day on my centre, and we get zero funding from the government on that.
So you said you have 28 kids HIV positive?
Yeah, so this centre.
Are they left at your doorstep or how do you...
They're all on medication, so as soon as a child comes to us, at whatever age, we give them full medical.
Are they typically all HIV positive from the parents or...?
Yes, yeah, they are.
So if there was any kind of support for either of the centres that you would need, would it be financial? Is that sort of the main?
Financial is easy because I know what to buy. Food items always. Rice, oil, clothes, school stationery. Those items are ongoing.
Do you have a lot of problems with the kids amongst each other here, or do you tend to squash that pretty quickly?
Amongst each other, not really. Look, they don't have family, this is their family.
Yeah.
And, you know, all the staff here, we're all their mothers.
Yeah. We can get them down to ANZAC, that'd be awesome.
Oh well, they can run out at break time and have a kick.
Kick of the footy. A few of them had a pretty good technique actually out there.
If everybody, even you are, who are you, where are you, or what your job is not important. One thing very important, that is you can do something you want and you do because your heart asks you do. And if everybody do that, the life is better, especially for the children, our future.
With Mitch Hyde, he's going to be organising the afternoon serious beach activities for the training drills. So what do you got organised today, mate?
Well, we did a bit of a 5k run this morning, so we'll get a bit of a feel, see how they pull up after that and after the orphanage.
You think you've got a bit of the drill sergeant in? You think you're about to get the crack the whip and get them motivated after they've had a big lunch?
I think they'll be a bit full, but they'll know what the greater good is. They know we're trying to win an ANZAC Day match, so they know they have to work pretty hard to get what they want.
We're not knock off until we're done.
We're just going to start off with the game that we used to play at home called British Bulldog.
It's business time.
It's business. It's business time.
I know what you're trying to say. You're trying to say it's time for business. It's business time. Ooh.
It's business. It's business time.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
It's business time.
It's business. It's business time.
I know what you're trying to say. You're trying to say it's time for business. It's business.
Andy, how do you think the day went today, mate? I thought it was very good. It had a mixture of everything in it today.
Yeah, it's good, it's hard. The guys are more keen and we're going to have a real crack, so good start to the season.
Yeah, I think the boys will be quite happy just to have a nice dinner tonight and a few beers.
Yeah, for sure. Yep.
All right, well done today, mate.
Thanks, Steve.
There's R&R in the town tonight.
There's R&R in the town tonight.
We'll still wake up feeling bright.
We'll still wake up feeling bright.
Hey, Chris. Your ball this time. Chris.
So listen to me, what about the turnout this morning? You happy with it, or?
Oh, look, mate, I think all the key Swannies come out and the boys that are part of the team, yeah, we're getting some good skills in.
What do you reckon the highlights were this weekend, buddy?
Then the orphanage, you know, that was a really big highlight for me. I think just trying to understand what those kids go through and that sort of stuff, and we can give them a bit of a light during the day and a bit of happiness. At one point, one little girl sort of come up to me and put her hands up in the air and jumped up and then latched on and wouldn't let go, you know, and that really hit home. So I think I'll get back there a bit often and try and help out where I can.
It's good, mate. Yeah, so adoption's not on the cards there or anything?
Oh, mate, you know, can't even look after myself sometimes. I don't know about looking after a little kid at this stage. But
now, listen, mate, just finally, now the rumour you might have got mugged on that run because no one could find you for quite a while. Do you know what happened out there?
Oh, mate, I bought some these runners from Thailand. I'm going to blame it on those because yeah, my old calves packed up halfway through, and yeah, I wasn't couldn't feel my legs for a little bit, but that was all good. And I was out there, mate. You know, went around, had a bit of tea and a bit of pho with some of the locals.
Good on you, Timmy. Good warm up for the big one in April, mate. We'll see you there.
Yeah, cheers, Steve.
Now listen, mate, you're one of the great campaigners of the weekend. Have you pulled up?
Surprisingly well, considering I'm not a runner. And
Yeah, no, I think you've done well, and you were out there down the beach there putting a lot of effort in.
yeah, it was good fun at the beach. Yeah.
And also noticed you were putting a lot of effort into the R&R last night too, which was a great effort.
I pulled my, did me bit,
Yeah, the beach session with Mitch was good, and the long tan run was good as well. And yeah, got about 12 out here today for a kick of the footy. So all in all, not a bad weekend. I dare say that some people got up to some shenanigans last night.
Yeah, so what do you reckon the highlight was? Any highlights you reckon out of that day yesterday?
I have to say, I know there's some low lights, like Bill rocking up late or not rocking up at all to everything, being Captain Courageous.
You're able to tell us, Billy, just briefly, where the hell were you there?
I was here already.
You're here, right.
Vung Tau,
yeah.
acclimatised.
There's a lot of leadership battles going on. You might have seen Tony Abbott. It's pretty.
Showing up support down here with the locals.
Now, on your little stint with the boot camp weekend, you got any highlights, buddy?
We've eaten pretty well, the 3 meals that I've made.
I noticed you put in such an effort that you've actually got a bit of a war injury from yesterday. Can we just have a brief look at this?
I don't know if you can see in the light there.
Yeah, there is quite a noticeable bruise there.
There's a bruise that comes right up to there.
It looked actually yesterday like you dislocated the toe.
Yeah, it's actually pointing out this way. And thankfully May straightened it up for me.
Right. Well, so what do you reckon just overall what it's like to be part of the Swannies family, the clan?
It's great, it's a very welcoming club. I think the boys are just always willing to give a hand and always really welcoming. So it's a great atmosphere, great group of guys, and we always have a lot of fun.
So how did you pull up after yesterday's proceedings?
Been better. I didn't make it to the training session this morning, and I did very little on the beach yesterday. But I did
picked
the
up
run.
on the nightlife better. Actually, I thought you were going to talk about the training, but
oh, okay. Cormac actually said earlier, if there's one thing he could improve, it would just be more burpees.
Yeah, they need to wipe out the burpee program. That's ridiculous.
Overall, I thought everyone put in a pretty good effort this weekend.
Yeah.
Including the R&R last night. I thought that was fairly good effort by most of the team.
There's some good efforts on there as well.
Yeah, I normally get into the R&R. Last night was no exception. It was pretty good.
So I hear there's a bit of a tell-all book going on about some of the antics that went on last night. Was that you ready to sell the story to the highest bidder, or was that somebody else?
That was somebody else. I have no idea what that is.
Yeah, we're here with the merch man, Gus. Listen, can you tell us, matey, what is your highlight of the strenuous, rigorous boot camp weekend?
Am I right, mate?
You're on.
I'm on. All right.
Waking up.
Well, I think I've been excellent from the outset. Timmy P comes down, even though he's injured. Andy's come down and shown the young fellas how to run. Yeah, it's been good.
Well, I've heard there's a bit of a rumour there's a bit of a tell-all book going on about some of the antics that went on last night, and you're behind it. So, are you going to reveal any of the snippets from the book or not?
Oh, I don't want to. My publishers aren't happy about it. I've actually been to the orphanage before, so that was good. Really sort of moving, actually. I think we should try to do a bit more for them.
Yeah, excellent.
Like Gus said, we had, not many people been there before, and once we go there and see, what we can do for them is a good thing. And the battlefield and Paul telling us a bit about what happened there was really good too.
Oh, that's good. So anyway, I thought it was pretty good myself. So we'll see you in a couple of months for the big event.
Yeah, no worries, Steve. Cheers, mate.
We are the Swannies of 2015.
We are the Swannies of 2015.
Asia's finest, lean and keen.
Asia's finest, lean and keen.
Run time.
Well done.
Today the club's mega in terms of Asian footy. Nothing's really changed fundamentally about the motivations and the ambitions of the club. It's been an awesome ride.